Hi and welcome back. You ever have the feeling that you need another week in order to be able to get ready for Christmas? That's where I'm at. Today we are making the fudge. I'm going to go ahead and show you my process for making fudge. It's really simple. It's not the cooking method. You can make everything in the microwave. It takes about 5 minutes. We're going to make two types. One's going to have cherries and coconut in it, and the other one is going to be white chocolate peppermint. I also have the deer marinating in the refrigerator, getting everything ready for Christmas Day as well. We only have, 4 days left before Christmas is here. A lot of prep, lots of prep. It takes 2 days to be able to boil bones, to be able to get stock, to make gravy, and soup, other things like that. If you hear that little noise in the background, that is the dog's toy. I've had question about the noise. Sounds like a hamster or something that's dying in the background. It is called a giggle ball. Giggle. Giggle ball. It is a ball that makes noise. And you can see how much she loves this. I bought this about a month ago, and it's about destroyed. It is her favorite thing in the world besides us. So there's going to be a lot of that this episode. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm also making cookies. I am doing regular bagged cookies because of my allergy. I'm going to have my gloves and face mask on to be able to make these so it doesn't get, fluffed up and stuff. Just regular. I'm not doing anything special with those. But let's go ahead and get started. Here is all that I have. I got little candy cane bites for the white chocolate. If you buy almond bark, it's just plain chocolate. There's no almonds in almond bark. Just for your information, it is microwavable, and we can go ahead and break this up into pieces and do everything in the microwave. We're also going to need some sweetened condensed milk. I am making double batches, so we are going to be needing 2 for chocolate, 2 for white chocolate. I got maraschino cherries and coconut chips for the dark chocolate, and a little bit of honey for the white chocolate along with the peppermint. We are going to go ahead and break these into their respective squares. And since we're doing a double batch, we're going to be using 2 of the almond bark bars. It's a lot of chocolate, but it will melt down, and we are going to be using these to put the fudge in and put them in the refrigerator for a couple hours and then slice. Okay, and before we put it in the microwave, we're going to add the condensed milk. We're going to also add about, I want to say, a 1/4 cup of butter to this to help it emulsify. Now, if you're just doing a single batch, you're going to want to add 2 tablespoons of butter. And it's easiest if you cut the pads up so it melts a little bit more even. Stick this into the microwave for 90 seconds. Let it melt. Stir. Put it in there for another 60 seconds. Stir. And then 30 seconds until it's nice and smooth, but not burnt. It's really easy to burn this. So be careful and keep an eye on your microwave. Still working on getting it all nice and melted. You can do it one batch at a time. Now, you don't have to use chocolate. You can use carob chips. If you can't have chocolate, butterscotch chips. You know, the white chocolate does have chocolate in it if you'd have food sensitivities to that. Don't know about lactose free though. This has a lot of milk in it. It's starting to become smooth. The lumps are melting. I mean, if you want to do just one batch and use chips, like butterscotch chips or Reese's peanut butter chips, all you need is 3 cups of those chips, the butterscotch chips or whatnot per batch, along with 1 thing of condensed milk and 2 tablespoons, sorry, of butter. That's it. That's all that you really need for a good, quick, sweet tooth. A really good, quick batch for fudge. About another 60 seconds and we should be done. Okay, that is melted. Okay, see how shiny it is? You want that to be shiny. If it starts losing its shine, you've overcooked it a little bit. I'm not going to say that it's not good. You can still eat it because it's chocolate. But you do want to have the mixture shiny like that for a nice smooth fudge. Now, in the meantime, while this is sitting off to the side, we are going to cut up the maraschino cherries into smaller bits and then add the whole jar into the fudge. Each batch calls for a 1/4 cup. And this is about a cup-ish. Now, I've got this idea out of my grandmother's cookbook from the 1930s. This is an adaptation of what's called Victoria fudge. I did not write down, and I wish I did, that this needed candied pineapple as well. So if you want to make what's called Victorian fudge, or Victoria fudge, kind of like Queen Victoria. This is, all you have to do with this recipe is include the same amount of candied pineapples along with it. All right, let's go ahead and add these in. Find the escape artists. Get this mixed in, and then the same amount for coconut. Half a cup. The original recipe called for a quarter cup. We're going to be putting in half a cup of coconut flakes with this, and then we're going to top off with more coconut flakes. So basically a candied cherry chocolate fudge thing. Alright, so here I've gone ahead and lined this with wax paper. You can use parchment paper or just butter it. And what we were working on is to make this a brick consistency. Whenever it cools off, it will be solid. And we can go ahead and cut that up. If you want to just put some oil in there, you can. It's not going to hurt the fudge. It's just preferred to be done this way. Go ahead and add this slowly. So that way you're not collapsing your paper. Okay, get all of it out. Unless you want to lick the bowl. I wouldn't blame you. Put a little bit more coconut flake on it. If you have any more maraschino cherries, or if you get the big bottle, go ahead and put on some on top of there as well. That decoration is optional. This goes in the refrigerator, preferably overnight. But it can just take a few hours. I'm putting the lid on now because I need to stack them, because the beer roast in the refrigerator is taking over one whole shelf. So let's go ahead and get this in. Alright, and second batch, we're going to go ahead and do the white chocolate. This is going to be the peppermint honey fudge. And instead of butter, we're going to be adding the same amount of honey. It does the same thing. All it does is add a different flavor profile. And add a little bit more sugar content. Okay, condensed milk. Okay. That's about a quarter cup to a half a cup. So I'm just going to eyeball this because that's about a half a cup-ish. Maybe a little bit less. And it doesn't matter if it's crystallized or not because it will melt. This is one good way of getting rid of old honey. It's just to add it to cooking. Okay, 90 seconds, microwave. We'll be right back. Now that's all nice and melted and shiny. Sorry, the dog has been knocking on the door with that ball. Been trying to keep the noise down to a minimum level, but she is just not having it today. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put in our candy cane pieces. Half a cup. You can save the rest for the top. If you're making one batch, it's a quarter cup. You don't want to overwhelm the fudge with the candy cane pieces. You really don't want to chow down on a piece and hurt yourself. All right, now that's all mixed in. Pour it in our little tin, ever so slowly. You don't want to collapse the sides. Really? Excuse me. Scrape the bowl. Leave some in there to lick. I mean, come on. You gotta leave some in there to lick. Sprinkle some on top. And there you have it. White chocolate candy cane fudge. All right, so that is about half of my baking that I'm going to be doing. I still have the cookies to bake, and then Christmas dinner. Most of it's prep work. I've got most of it done. Mainly marinating the deer roast, as well as, just preparing things. We have the potatoes, we have the carrots, we have the peas. Anything that we're going to need. I just mainly need to do the roast and the gravy. That's it. Christmas is kind of like a toned down version of Thanksgiving in our house. Even though I do make a lot of food, it's not as elaborate. I do have something planned for Christmas. Instead of going out to Lake Belton and doing the lights again, I am going to go ahead and see if I can't do a local light show that is starting actually tonight, and filming that to see if we can't get something a little bit different, because filming the same thing over and over again every year kind of gets a little boring. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.